Hi, this is Stacey Rivera with Strong, Healthy, and Happy. I'm here with my guests today, Cindy and Steve, who are recent graduates from Strong, Healthy, and Happy. So excited to have walked with them through the process of breaking free from anxiety and depression. And so I'm going to ask a few questions to you guys tonight. Thank you both for being here. How are you guys tonight?
Doing great.
Fine.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you guys again for being here. So where I always like to start is just to paint a picture of where you guys started at. So Cindy, would you tell me a little bit about what you were struggling with before we started working together?
I was struggling with a lot of depression, anxiety attacks,
Mhm.
and just really not looking forward to the days as they came.
Okay.
I was just really, don't know how to put it, just really not in a good place.
Okay. Okay. One of the things that stood out to me about where you started was the way that you would describe that you would make progress, you would be okay. And then it was like you would hit a glass ceiling and then get knocked back down.
Yes,
Do you remember that?
I do.
I know you remember going through it. I don't know if you remember our conversation where we talked about that. Yeah. So if I was understanding right, you had a lot of management tools in place for trying to make the situation better. Is that right?
Yes, I have been through numerous techniques, processes, whatever you want to call them, counseling. I've done it all.
Okay.
For years, I've done it all, and just could not find the good mix,
Mm,
tools and support and everything together just in one place. It was all kind of scattered everywhere, and it just didn't mesh.
love that. I love that. Okay. So again, a lot of tools. It wasn't coming together for you. Beautiful. Okay. Okay. Good. So which was kind of bigger for you, the anxiety or the depression?
Definitely the depression,
Okay.
but the depression was also from fear. A lot of the depression was also from fear of
Mm,
having more anxiety attacks. So I guess you could say the anxiety
okay.
played a huge role in the depression.
Okay. So very, very much tied together. Okay. Tied together.
Yes.
Got it. Got it. So how going through that again, I know that you were managing, there were some times that were really rough. Would you say that you were thriving or just getting by, or how would you describe, like where you started?
What's the opposite of thriving?
I don't know what the word is for that.
Yes,
Yeah.
definitely would.
Okay.
Definitely not thriving. I would say I would get by most days,
Mhm.
um, and I stress most days because there were a lot of days I just didn't get by.
Okay.
I pretty much stayed in bed.
Okay. Okay. So describe that part. And Steve, I felt like you had some good insight on this again when we first started. Like what was happening as far as the days that just weren't good?
I mean, you've heard her stories before, but I mean, there were many days that she was in bed all day long, and she couldn't even hardly talk. And you'd go in there to check on her, and you couldn't even hardly get anything out of her, and just
Mhm.
didn't know what to do, and just let her know that you were around if she needed you. But that was about it.
As
And
you say
you
that,
could
I
tell,
hear, sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, if she wasn't there, you could see that she was not happy. I mean, even on the
Mm,
day
yeah.
she wasn't bedridden or staying in bed, you could tell she wasn't happy, and
Okay.
she was struggling. I mean, she wasn't giving up. She was definitely trying to find
Yes.
help somewhere, and so that was making it even harder to see her
Mm.
not trying to figure out, not being able to figure out what was going on.
Yeah, that was one of the things that I loved about you, Cindy. And thank you. I'm sorry, like I can tell the emotion of like when you think back about was, and I'm the same. When I think about where I started, it's the same. Like it sucked. It sucked. It steals life. One of the things that stands out to me about the beginning of the conversation was you felt like your life was being wasted.
Hmm.
You knew that you weren't anywhere near living your potential and the things that God wanted you to do.
Right.
And it is emotional. It's like you know it's there. And what I loved about you, Cindy, as you guys started, Steve, like you guys were so together, but it was exactly that. Like you're a fighter. Cindy, you were like, I'm not giving up. I'm looking for the answers. But what I'm hearing from you, Steve, is even on the good days, it was still like you guys just weren't there. You weren't at all where you wanted to be. Thriving was not one of the words that you would have used to describe your life.
No. And it hurts hearing him say that, because while it was my illness, it affected the whole family. And to know that I put them through this, him and our boys through this for years, that's so emotional for me. It's what I've gone through is hard enough for me, but what I've put them through is just, it's hard.
Yeah. How long would you say that you were wrestling with this, that you were fighting to get out?
Ooh, 10, over 10 years.
Oh, at least probably 20 years. Actually, I've battled with depression my whole life, but this round has been at least 20 years.
Wow, that is an incredibly long time.
Yeah.
And so give me a small glimpse of, again, what were the kinds of things you tried in the past to heal emotionally before joining Strong and Healthy and Happy?
Well, like I said, counseling. I've tried prescription medications, obviously the essential oils.
Okay.
That was the beginning of my healing process, honestly, but it wasn't everything I needed. Obviously, prayer, church, meditation. I've been on retreats. I've read every book you can read. I have, what else have I done? Acupuncture. I mean, if it was out there, I've done it. And it just, I couldn't, there was like a wall there that I just could peek over, just could not get completely over and get on the ground at the other side. There was something there that just, everything just didn't click.
I love that about the essential oils that you pulled out. It was like that helped, right? That was the beginning, but it wasn't enough. And when you describe where you're at before, as far as going, again, there were some good days, you'd make progress. There was that glass ceiling, you would get knocked down again. Yeah, we wish, right? We wish there was just the one thing. You're just missing the one thing. And of course, going through the program, it's not just one thing, right? Exactly as you said, it's you need to pull all the pieces together in one place in order to break free completely.
Correct.
So tell us, how do you feel now? Like, where are you guys at now?
How would you say I am?
A lot better. I mean, she's she's works through things a lot of times. I feel like there's times during the day through, in the last several weeks, that if something of the things that happened, she would have gone back into remission.
Come on.
Remission.
And just, you give her a little time and it seems like, okay, everything's good, And so that's what I've seen. And she hasn't had any major or any of the types of times that she's been down like she has. So
I've had a day or two that has been down, but not in that depressed mode.
Okay.
Just just kind of blah feeling, not really sure what it is.
Okay.
Mostly tired, but that's a normal life for me.
I was going to say that's the description of normal to me. We're not robots. We're not like, up here all the time. We have emotion.
Exactly.
But I love that it's not it's not days in bed anymore, right? That's not at all what that is. Right. And I love what you said, Steve. Like, I want to highlight that because, again, the thing is, I can't stop life from happening. You guys know, after working with me, like, you set a whole different expectation for life, right? Like, life, you expect different things from life, period, as you guys are done. But still, life happens. But I want to be sure that you, Cindy, have the tools necessary, that it doesn't take you down for weeks or bring on a relapse, that you're like, yeah, I got this. It's fine. But it's not, it's also, I feel like sometimes people feel that like breaking free or being completely healed means that we never have another sad day, or we never cry again, or nothing ever bothers us. And it's like, I'm still a person, like, stuff still happens to me. but
Exactly.
but it doesn't take me down. It does not ever get a chance to take me down anymore. Yeah.
And that's
Good.
kind of how I feel. I'm able to face life's everyday life, even some of the bigger things that have come on, and
Mm,
um it not just be like, I'm done, I give up, which is what I would have done before. I'm
mm,
back
yeah.
then I would go, and I haven't done that. It's like I don't.
That's what I was trying to say.
Yeah, like it's not.
Yeah,
That's what I was trying.
that's what he was trying to say. Yeah, that's good. That's why you guys are a team.
We are definitely a team, definitely.
Definitely.
And I will say that
Definitely.
this program has probably brought us closer than anything else we have done.
Love that.
Any marriage counseling, any marriage seminar, anything. We have really worked on this together, and it's been fun for the most part. Even if he has wanted to kill me a couple of days, but it has been fun.
There's been a few times where Steve has been not too keen on my advice. I know. But you guys were totally in this together, and I love that. Steve, obviously you're a super talkative guy, and there's been a few times where I've had to been like, "Hey, calm down." You can tell, but I love that you guys definitely have showed up in a team, and what we've seen in your marriage. I love that. Thank you, Cindy, just for reporting on that, because it's so important to me. I know there's a lot of opportunities to work with folks that, hey, it would be just you, right? It's just your problem, and I'm like, dude, this is all up in the middle of your marriage. That's what I know.
I wish
And
I would
so,
have had this when my boys were younger, and we could have done it as a family.
I love
That
that. Yeah.
that would have been a big thing for us.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that you're here now, though, especially as you guys are going to this next season of Steve. You're retired, and this is a whole new season, which is part of, I felt like, a real motivation for you both as you got started was like, hey, we're going into this new season that looks different, and we don't know what to do here, and we need to be well. And so I
Yes,
loved that motivation. So far, retirement's been good then, yeah?
Yes, it has.
Yeah,
it
good.
really has been good.
Yeah, good. Wonderful, wonderful. So what's one of your biggest shifts in your mindset while working together? Whoever wants to go.
No, you got to answer that.
Okay. Here's laughing to you. Okay.
Biggest shifts in the mindset would be, in all honesty, I'm trying to constantly remember that it's not my battle. It
Mm,
is a spiritual battle,
okay.
first of all. Second of all, that I'm for the first time I feel like I'm not alone in this. I'm just
Mm,
not.
that's good. So feeling that not alone, do you mean like you feel like God is with you, or you feel like Steve's with you, or what do you mean?
Both.
Both.
Um,
Okay.
I mean, I've always, I say always, for the most of my life, I've always felt like God was with me. There was a season that I felt like, okay, maybe He's decided that I'm not worth it, kind of thing. But that has come full circle, and I'm truly grateful for. But that Steve's with me, that I can actually say now, hey, I am just not having it today.
Yeah.
I'm gonna, whatever, or it's not like I have to say, hey, I don't feel good today. It's like, this is what I'm feeling, or this is what's going on, or sometimes it'll take me a bit still to kind of gather the words and gather the emotions so I can explain it to him so he can understand it.
Okay.
But I can still go to him and say, okay, I'm not having a good moment. I'll explain it later, or I just don't want to talk about it.
Okay.
So, and then I'm able to come back and revisit it. Where
Beautiful.
before I wouldn't. I just say, let's just leave
Right.
me alone. I'm done.
Yeah. I love that. I love that. How this is just translated into all the different areas of your life.
Yeah.
Absolutely beautiful. Good. So tell me a little bit about other places, spiritually, physically. Any
Hmm.
transformation in those areas as well?
Well, spiritually huge. I had kind of pulled back on my relationship with God.
Okay.
Not admitting that
Okay.
at all. But there was a time there I got angry with him going through all
Mm,
of this. And
yeah.
it's really taken me a while to come back around to it. But with the tools and the support again,
Yeah.
him on my side, I've been able to rekindle that relationship. It's like now I'm hungry again for it,
I
and
love that.
that's been good. That's
Yeah.
that's it. I mean, of course, that's a humongous feeling.
Yeah.
Uh, know that you're hungry again to have that relationship, but to
Mm,
actually be able to get in the Word again and to actually be able to pray again. That was probably my hardest thing, was praying.
sure.
I could read the Word, I could study it, I could spout it off to you, but to actually pray about it was a big thing for me for a long time. And
I
so
love that.
now that I
Mm,
get back to just that relational conversation.
it's good. I love the
Mhm.
way that you put all that. That was beautiful. Good. I'm so glad. I'm so glad. Um, there was a question there I had, and it slipped my mind. Hold on a second. I was really listening intently. I love that. Like that was just so beautiful. Oh, I know what it was because you mentioned kind of support, and one of the things that stands out to me is I know that myself and our other coaches we've called out a few things for you along the way, right? Would you agree? Um, and so I want to highlight that because I feel like sometimes eh, to me before you came in you were a self studier, right?
Yes.
Okay. And so tell me a little bit about what it meant to you to have someone on the other side of the table that could say, what's this here? What's going on here?
Um, it wasn't always fun.
Okay, fair enough.
To be called out was, for me, it was good though. I don't mind being called out when someone knows what I'm working towards and they're like, hey, this isn't getting you where you want to go.
Yes.
That's okay with me. But it was always done in such a, I'm not going to say gentle because it wasn't always gentle, but such a loving manner. It was always done with such authenticity. Like, hey, I don't know if you see this about yourself, but this is what we're seeing. And so it didn't come across as being attacked at all, ever.
Okay, I love that. I love that. But I think what you're saying is the same that I want to make sure my intention is always there is going. The reason I sometimes say the hard things is because I see your goal in mind. Like if your goal is freedom and really to breaking free, to just let you wallow in that poo is not going to work. Like that is one of my roles is I've got to be like, hey, I need you to see this so you can then move it. Yeah.
And too, I felt like some of it was, you've been there,
Yeah.
and some of the areas you've been there. So you were, and Coach T as well, was able to point it out from a place of knowing, not just,
Mm,
hey, I see this and this is probably not a good idea, but hey, I know where you've been. I know where you are. I've been there. Um, I don't want you to get off on the wrong track. So I felt like it was a place of knowing most of the time.
it's good. It's good. Thank you. So, Steve, you want to jump in here again? Anything else that like stands out to you about the journey? Good things that have happened?
Um, to go back from the very start, I mean, it'd take a while, but like on your station, I mean, what caught my attention is a lot of times she would start talking and telling you what's going on, and I would hear y'all saying, "Okay, this what you're saying. A lot of it is like the cover, but down deep, this is what the issue is." And
Mm.
stop for a second and say, "Yes, you're right," and so that was really helpful. And uh, like she said, I mean, she needed. She's been to counseling before, and I've tried to go with her sometimes, and still
Mhm,
it's hard to talk to her. And for
mhm.
somehow, some way, whenever y'all would discuss things with her, she took it to heart, and really thought about it, and it seemed like it did a lot of good. So,
It's good. It's good. So let me ask, what would you both say to someone else who needs this breakthrough, that needs to break free from anxiety and depression, that's feeling a little scared to step up and change their life? Cindy, what would be the words of encouragement that you would leave?
Do it. You're worth it.
Okay.
Whether you believe it or not, you're worth it. There is a light at the end of the tunnel. Don't stop until you get there. Just don't stop. Do what you need to do for you. If you have a spouse, do it with your spouse, because I've done it by myself for way too long, and it doesn't work when you're doing it by yourself.
That's good. That's good. I want to add into that. So just want to make sure that we're clear. You found your answers here. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, maybe. But again, that point, because I want to make sure, like, do you think that if we hadn't worked together, like you would have eventually gotten there with like all the random things that you were trying to put together?
After 20 years, I no, I don't.
Okay. Okay.
I know I would.
Okay.
I would still be looking for that one thing. You know,
That's
that
good.
it's really,
Yeah.
I probably already had all the tools, kinda, up
Kind of.
here.
Yeah.
Kinda had
Yeah.
them already, but they
Right.
had never been meshed together and worked together to
Mhm.
where, it made sense. It was like, "Here,
Yeah.
do this over here. Here, do this over here. Here, do this over here." Instead, this was like, "Here, we're gonna look at your whole being, not just this one thing. We're gonna look at
Yeah.
you as a person, not as just another patient or another number or another figure. It's like
Mm.
it's just a whole different approach."
Yes. Yes. That's good. Thank you. Thank you. Anything else either of you want to add to this? Just thoughts about this process, the joy of where you guys are now. I know we're looking at you, Steve, like we're expecting you to add in here.
I
What was
think
that?
the process things was the process that you use to figure out what the issue is, and
Digging deep.
and um, like you said, get you to where you're thinking about what you need to do. I mean, and like I said, I don't want to give away too much, like you said, but
I know
I, I think
we're being super cryptic today. We're like, transformation, you need it. Come on, without giving you too many details. Yeah.
yeah, transformation, the
Yeah.
process that you use. I think that was a big, big help uh, in getting through this, and so
Honestly, the biggest thing for me was having him along with me,
Okay.
because
Yeah.
I wasn't going to talk to someone or reading a book or whatever and then having to come back and explain it to him. Like, he
Yes.
was
That
there
is
with
so
them.
good.
He was there
Yeah.
for each of the calls. He was there. Well, I
Yep.
think you only had one. He was there for all the calls. He was there. He heard exactly what I heard,
Yes.
and
Yes.
so we were able to talk about it afterwards, and not, like, oh, well, what did they say?
Yes. Yes. I love that.
That's
Yeah,
the
I love that because I feel like that was one of the things that I had really struggled with. You read the book and you're like, well, in chapter 1, they tell me that this is what I need to do. And so you're trying to relay the information. And one of my things about working with couples is I realized that Steve, as a supporting spouse, as important as this is to you, like everything's riding on this for you as well. You need Cindy to be well, to have a healthy marriage, to go into this next season, and I want you to feel equipped. And now I believe that you do. Like how, like, I know there's times you've been like, hey, this tool, right? That you've just been like, hey, what about? And so now you know what works and what doesn't work. And you are also an additional support of accountability. And so it is with intention that I want you guys to be a stronger team, a stronger
right.
team.
And that it definitely shows. Definitely, that's to me, that's key to the whole program. To
Beautiful.
key to healing if you're married or if you're,
yeah,
to have that other person there to support you, because to do it alone, it just doesn't work. I mean, you can only go so far by yourself.
That's good. That's very good. Very well said. Beautiful.
I mean, that would be an alcoholic, having,
yeah.
Here, you could drink wine all the time, but I can't have any, like,
yeah.
I mean, so the depression is the same thing. It's, if something sets me off, then, if he doesn't know, hey, to call me out on it, or to, hey, did you think about, remember when you learned this or whatever? I mean, it's, who's to stop me from going down there?
That's good.
That dark hole again. So he's my accountability partner now. He doesn't know it.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. He knows it. He knows it. Awesome. Well, thank you guys again so much for just being here. It has been such a pleasure. I really just want to give you both everything works. I know it works. I know the process works, but you guys have to show up. And you both showed up in an amazing way, and we're completely all in. We're very coachable. Again, I know there was times where like we had to have that tough, hey, this is, go right, not left, please. But you did. As sometimes you're like, oh, with that, that was sometimes your response. But at the same time, you're like, yeah, I know that. And so yes, I'm going to go right now. And so I just want to thank you both just for being an amazing couple to work with. Again, just being all in and completely coachable throughout the process. And so it's been a pleasure of mine to serve you both and to just watch this transformation, both in your life and your marriage. And I'm so excited about the things that God's going to do through your life. And as this is just truly, this is the beginning of the rest of the story. And so thank you guys again, just so much for being part of this. And I'm just so excited about your transformation, Cindy.
Well, thank you. We appreciate you.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. So as I wrap up this video, I just want to make sure that if you've been watching and you're inspired by what Cindy and Steve have experienced and you're looking to break free from anxiety and depression, then I just want to invite you to book a call with our team so we can talk about your story and what's going on and really dive into how we can help you through the process. Again, just like you've heard today, we're going to walk with you through the exact steps that you need to break free from anxiety and depression for the rest of your life so that you can do exactly the things that God has called you to do. And so we'll make sure to put that link below the video. Thanks so much. Again, this is Stacey Rivera with Strong, Healthy, and Happy. And this has been Cindy and Steve. Thanks again, guys, just for sharing your story. So appreciate you both.
Thank you.